With the teams being announced, the final team is Team 12. Christian Uzumaki, Minami Uzumaki, and Kinato Uzumaki. Christian says, great. Minami goes, I wanted to be on a team with Sasuke Iruka-sensei. Why am I on a team with these two? He says, one, you guys have similar grades. Iruka laughing, just kidding. Minami, you're almost at the bottom. Kinato is almost at the top, and Christian is at the top. And he is much stronger than Sasuke. Sasuke slams his hand on the desk and says, he's not stronger than me. Sasuke says, sorry, but in all the sparring matches you guys had, you never stood a chance. He says, I want to fight him now. He says, fine, we'll go outside. When it starts, Sasuke pulls out a kunai saying, I'm gonna kill you. The kunai already did it. Christian catches the kunai with 2 fingers and says, you're a loser, Sasuke, you know that? Then throws it, so then he has the circular edge of the kunai and throws it at Sasuke. He gets cut in the cheek, he goes, Every fangirl is cheering for Sasuke. Even Shikamaru. So with this, he's fighting. I'm kidding. Sasuke rushes at him, going, ah! With a punch to the gut. It hits Christian, but he doesn't flinch. Christian says, was that supposed to hurt? He goes, ah! And starts punching him in the stomach. It's not doing anything. Christian just punches him in the head, knocking Sasuke the f*** out. Sasuke goes, ah! Sakura says, you monster, you hurt Sasuke. You should have let him win. Christian says, so you want me to admit that he's weak? Basically. He goes, why, you little? And he goes to punch him. Christian catches it saying, look, I don't care about your little Sasuke relationship. I'm not like Kiba who gets punched in the face every time he says something bad about Sasuke. As he says, Chakra Force Blast! Then blasts her back. She goes, ah! As he hits a fence. He says, as everyone sits down with Sasuke on a bandage around his head and around his eye. Naruto burst out laughing, saying Sasuke looks like an idiot, and so does Sakura. Sakura punches him so hard that his head almost cracks. Christian kicks Sakura in the face, saying, don't do that. He says, then Naruto, then paper comes around Naruto's head and like seals it up. Christian goes, oh yeah, you're not actually alive. Everyone is shocked, saying, what? Christian says, have anyone realized why his eyes have pitch black in them? He's dead. He's a reanimation by me. Christian says, but hold on. He charges up the biggest jutsu of his all time, charging him so much stronger that everyone in the class, including Iruka and the walls, get crushed. He goes, Sage Art Rebirth! And punches Naruto in the face. He goes, ah! As he turns into a revived. Christian goes, as he falls to one knee and then regens his chakra somehow. And everyone's back up and they say, ah, that was insane. Now Naruto's fully alive. Christian says, what? What?
Three cats that were in there. The what? Kit Kats that were in there earlier. I haven't seen cats there in a while. I haven't seen them. I told the guy to come downstairs and put them in there. Tell me fucking camera took them again. Ask him if he took them. Cameron. Did you take Dad's Kit Kats? Yes. You're not taking them. Because you're the number one suspect. We always take everything. It's not your words. What shit? Did he take them? No. They're in the freezer right in the middle. I know that. I'm looking. You see him? No. Oh, never mind. You got him? Yes. They were wedged in somewhere.
Nosy la loco. Alright, let's actually get into this. So, with that, when they'd head home, Christian would actually go out with Naruto, and Sasuke would want to make a peace treaty, so to have no further fights. Then they'd walk out of the academy, just them, with Shikamaru, Kiba, Choji, and Shino, the whole squad going out for ramen for Naruto's revival. And when they head to Ichiraki, they start eating. Christian wants a special miso ramen for Naruto. Teiji prepares it and gives it to Naruto, while Naruto, on the other hand, is plotting something. She hates being on the same team as Christian and Kinato, so she's gonna do something against Christian. Because their parents know that Kinato would never do anything to Minami. I meant, whoever I said, I'm sorry, it's Minami that's planning something. So, she goes in her room and creates a clone. And this clone turns into Christian. Then, Minami tells it to start yelling at her and beating her up. She doesn't care how much it takes. She wants him to be in trouble. So Clone, as Christian, starts beating her up and yelling at her, saying that she's a waste of space and a mistake. That she shouldn't have died, and that everyone here should be dead, except for him, because he's perfect. Yelling at her so much, then Kushina and Minato kick down the door, and she says, "What's going on?" Minami, in a sad voice, goes sobbing, saying, He was beating me up and called me back." Kushina says, "That's it, mister, come with me." Then the clone says, "I'm leaving. I'm going out with my friends." As the clone disappears. He says, "Why, that little? He's gonna get it when he gets home." As they're all eating ramen, Christian goes, They're like, "Yum, yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum." As I am literally eating ice cream in real life. Christian's about to take a last bite of this ramen. As when he takes his last bite, something tugs on the back of his collar. He goes, "Huh? What the? What the hell?" All of them are scared when they look behind, seeing Kushina in her, angry mode, with, the Ninetales mode, grabbing the back of his collar. Then she drags him off throughout the village. He goes, "Let me go." She says, "No, you know what you did." Christian says, what are you talking about? As she's dragging him. Then she drags him home, and once he stands up saying, what the hell was this about? As she slaps him in the face saying, you know what you did? Why is your sister crying in her room? And why we see you beating her up and yelling at her, calling her a mistake, and all kinds of dirty names. Because he can't even get the next word out as he's slapped in the face again. You're grounded for 5 months. Not allowed to come out of your room, and I'm taking away your headband. You won't be on the team for the first 5 months. He goes, as he's mad and just walks to his room. Then Kushina hugs Minami saying, are you... Kinato from under her bed says, as he gets out from under the bed and walks over to Kushina. Kinato, did that brat do something to you too? Christian, get out here! He walks in saying, what did I do? He says, what did you do to him? Christian says, I still don't know what I did. He says, what? He says, no. That's it, you're gonna get it. As he pulls out 2 frying pans and he says, shoot. As he runs away, he gets eventually getting hit by them multiple times. As Minami is laughing behind her, but with Kushina in the moment isn't hearing her. As Christian is lying on the floor, bloodied and basically dead. Kushina says, and you'll be sleeping outside tonight. As he is on the ground, and she just throws a trash bag on him. Kushina's other side, inside of her, says, no, why would you do that? He says, you need to lost team, and he was the one to do it on. Plus, he hurt your daughter. She goes, I know, but you didn't have to do that to him. She says, I'm gonna go do more to him tomorrow. He says, don't you dare. Then Kushina goes to punch, but then her other half catches it and throws her to the ground, saying, you'll be sleeping for a while, as smoke starts to go around Kushina, making her knocked out. When Minato gets home, he sees Christian outside with the trash bag on top of him. And then when he looks at him, seeing that his head, face, eyes are all bloodied, along with his legs, arms, things, he feels it. When he pushes down on his skin, on like his hand, he sees his hand just goes right through to the bottom of it until he reaches the ground. He goes, this isn't good. Who could have done this? They broke his arm. They disintegrated all the bones in his body almost. Without his ribs, he'll probably die. Without anything, he'll probably die. He immediately rushes him to the Leaf Hospital and asks them to please take care of him, and he goes to find out who did this. Minato goes home and sits down. And says, Kushina, come out here. He says, yes, Minato? He says, who did that? He says, did what? He says, who broke all of our son's bones in his body, made them so when you touch his hand, your hand basically reaches the floor. Kushina says in her head, "Stupid other half, you did that!" He says, he's gonna get more in the Leaf Hospital. He says, then the other half takes over saying, that stupid brat beat up Naruto, beat up Minami, and also hurt his brother. Nushia. What's his name again? Minami. Good. Whatever his name is, Kinato. Yes. Christian goes as is. She says, "You have to do that to him. You almost killed him." She goes, "Not my problem." Minato walks up and smacks her, saying, "I don't know what's going on with you right now, but you've never done this before." Kinato comes out saying, "Dad, I have a confessment." He says, "Were you lying?" Kinato says, "Mom never let me talk when I was trying to tell her that Minami made a fake," as then his mouth gets blocked by Kinami saying, "that I made a fake new ninja tool." She says, "Good job, sweetie." But then Kinato elbows her in the nose as she falls. She says, "Why'd you do that?" He says, "She's lying, Dad. She literally made a clone, transformed it into Christian, and literally made it beat her up and call her names, so then this would happen." So she dragged him all the way from wherever he was and started to do what she did. He says, "Minami, you're in there get in there, now." As he says, "Get to your room, now." As Kushina's eye turns half red, half blue. One of her eyes turns red and the other one turns blue. As she keeps on punching, as she keeps on trying to fight herself, saying, "Minato, help me. This is my half. Minato doesn't understand it a little bit, but then he realizes, and then he punches Kushina in the gut and goes, "This is for the other half." And only the other half can feel it. The normal but Minami doesn't come. He says, "Are you insane?" He says, "No." There. He keeps on doing it, but then, "Love, not hurting me." She goes, "Minato, sorry," as he hugs her, and so does Kinato, to try and get her back to normal. And then she finally does with the power of love. He finally suppresses, aka seals away her evil side. He says, "We need to figure this all out." He calls Kiba, Sasuke, Shino, Choji, Shikamaru, and asks them to please. What happened? At Ichiraku celebrating Naruto's revival. Then Christian just got his color dragged. Slapped in the face. Then he said to me, not when Kinato came in, getting ready to come and tell her the real story, she assumed that he did something. She went out and grabbed pots and started repeating over and over. And Shino said that. Kiba says, "Shino, how the hell do you know that?" He says, "I placed one of my bugs on him to see what was going on." He says, Naruto says, stalker. They head straight to the Leaf Hospital to see if he's okay. They see that he's perfectly fine. They just need to refix his bones with chakra. And they've finally finished up his arms, his legs, and his ribs. They finished them all off with putting them back together with chakra. Then they start the surgery by putting his limbs back together. Then it's finally all done. He gets up and he has to learn how to walk again. Kushina runs up and hugs him, saying that she's so sorry for that, and she didn't know that her other side would do that. Christian says that he still sent his cap from that, and there's no way she has another side. But Minato and Kinato both say that she does. He goes, fine, I'll believe you. But if that happens again, I'm definitely 100% not believing you. She says, well, you have to go to the academy. It's time. He's in crutches as you walk. Iruka says, what happened? Christian says, things, Iruka, as he throws his crutches to the left as he can walk normally. He goes, as he snaps them and then I turn to confetti, but really they just teleported home. As he sits down, he says, alright class, so, the team leaders will start coming in. Kakashi comes last, and another team comes and another team leader for Christian, Minami, and Kinato. When Kakashi rides, he leaves with his team, and the sensei that comes in is Kushina. I'm kidding. It's Minato. They all say, Dad? He says, my position as Hokage. And he puts his fingers up, and then it turns him into the actual Kushina. They all say, Mom? And she says, Yup, I'm your Jonin leader. Except Chris. Minami says, how are you our Jonin leader? You're not a Jonin. Christian says, she is a Jonin. He says, now how would you know that? Kushina says, he says, when I was looking through our files to find Naruto's name, I saw all our ranks. Dad was a Hokage, you were a Jonin, and the rest of us were Genin. Except for Naruto, who was unknown. She also has she basically has her outfit when they went on that mission in the road to Ninja. Christian says, so what are we doing? Ourselves. He says, but you already know us and we know you. She says, oh yeah, whatever. So you guys will be doing a bell test. Christian says, alright. Then they get it started in the field with Team 7 watching. And he tells them to watch persistently to see their movements and see their teamwork. Christian says, Shadow Clone Jutsu, and creates 300 Shadow Clones which surround Kushina. They all go, ah! But they're easily defeated by Kushina, going, as she pulls out her frying pans, which Christian stops moving because he realizes that those do hurt. They can break your bones after a while. As he's shaken in fear because he doesn't like them. As he runs and dips into the water. With Team 7 watching from afar, Sakura says, guys, why did he just jump in the water and why was he shaking when he pulled out the frying pans? He says, Sasuke and Naruto say, he was hit by them until all his bones broke by his own mom because of her dark side. You know he's kind of traumatized by frying pans. That's why he doesn't use them. He cooks with bowls. Christian just, as he bites his finger, breaking it. He goes, Get yourself together! As he wraps his finger up. Oh yeah, he's underground with the dirt. Christian telepathy tells Kinato to jump up in the air for a wind gale palm. He gets ready and jumps up in the air going, "Ah!" and turns up a wind gale palm going, "Ah!" He says, "You won't be able to hit me from that far." And she throws a frying pan at him, which he moves out of the way. Goes, "Ah!" He says, and she's stuck there. She goes, "Ninja wire wrapped around," and that was Minami wrapping around with ninja wire. Then two Shadow Clones and Christian throw the kunai, which cut the ninja wire in half. She said, Minami and Kinato say, "What?" Then she's pulled up by a pillar, going, "Choo!" The thing that the Tsuchikage did to Madara when Naruto got him. Like the pillar thing, it brings her up, and then Kinato goes, "Wind style gale palm!" Then blasts her. He goes, "Ah!" But then she poofs. Christian says, "Damn it!" As he says, and says, "Lightning style manipulation," and throws a shuriken up in the air to let Christian know where he is. So then he just stands there and goes, Ultra Instinct. She goes to punch him, but he's dodging all the attacks with a little difficulty with his eyes closed. Sakura says, "Kakashi Sensei, how is he doing that? She's an elite Jonin and he's just again dodging all of her attacks with his eyes closed." He goes, "Doom, doom, doom." Shushina goes for a frying pan to the face, and Christian can't see it, so he's not afraid. Then he cranks his hand back and punches her in the gut like Goku did to Jiren. He goes, she goes, "Ugh." Then he elbows her in the nose, which blasts her back. His eyes are silver, and his hair is kind of tinted. It's not actual Ultra Instinct. I'm going to call this Chakra Aura. He appears right in front of her going, "Woo!" As she is trying to block all of them, but then her arms start to snap. As he goes, "Woo!" This one gut punch blasts her back. He says, "Fire style, fire punch!" His hand engulfs in fire going, "Ah!" punching her in the gut. He goes, "Ah!" which defeats her. Then Minami and Kinato snatch the bells. Christian smiles, saying, "At least they got him." And that's it for the bell test, and that's it for now.